Hey, God bless you, everybody. Not going to be before you long. Just want to quickly get on here and tell you about this dream I had and the interpretation. So, in the dream, it was a very quick dream. In the dream, I saw myself writing on a piece of carbon paper. A carbon paper, if for those of you that don't know, carbon paper is a piece of paper made from like a derivative of charcoal. The paper is used to make duplicates. So sometimes you might see this when there's like a receipt book and a customer needs a copy and you need a copy and maybe a witness or something needs a copy, right? And so that's what paper is used for. But anyway, so that was the end of the dream. I was just writing on a piece of carbon paper. So I began to seek the Lord on like what did he mean about this carbon paper. So one of the things about carbon paper I told you is like a derivative from charcoal. And charcoal, I thought to myself, well, when did I see charcoal in the Bible? And it reminds me of, I forget which prophet it was, but he was like, oh, I'm a man of unclean lips. And how could he, speak the words of God? And God got the charcoal and put it to his lips, and it took away his uncleanness. And so I was like, God, what does this have to do, about anything? Why am I writing on a piece of charcoal paper? So God began to give it to me. And this is what he said. He said to me, Times New Roman. He said, Ezekiel chapter 9. And then write to those that I love. Write to those that I love. And so those were the three things that he told me. And this has to do with folks who God is going to be giving downloads of things to write. And they may be thinking, I don't have what it takes, whatever. I'm unclean. I sinned or whatever it is that, you might have in your head. That is not of God, that, you unworthy to write. Originally, I used to think that I couldn't write. Not that I was unworthy, but that I just couldn't, I didn't know how to write. My grammar wasn't great and all that stuff. So you might have those type of thoughts in your head, like I cannot, I can't do it. But God is saying that, he's going to use you in that capacity of writing, whoever this is for. So, but anyway, let's get back to the words Times New Roman and Ezekiel chapter 9. So when I looked in Ezekiel chapter 9, the reason why is because I always ask the Lord, I said, confirm it with scripture. I don't want to just be saying stuff. Confirm with scripture what you're saying. And he said Ezekiel chapter 9. And when I looked in Ezekiel chapter 9, the first paragraph was talking about Ezekiel seeing a man, which was an angelic being, seeing a man with a writing kit in his hand. And the man with the writing kit in his hand had to go and mark the people who were in mourning for what was going on in the country. And so he went to go mark all the people that were going to be saved from the destruction that the Lord was going to bring about because of all the detestable things that were going on in the city. And so he went and he marked the people, and then of course the destruction broke loose. And so God confirmed right then and there from that scripture that this is about writing, and the use of charcoal has to do with marking the people, because we are all unclean. It's what Jesus. It's Jesus that makes us clean. but it's about going to mark the people and using the charcoal, because charcoal is a it is a purifying device. It can purify water. It's a very it pulls out impurities, and so God is going to be taking notice and marking and protecting those people who are his, that lament over the fact that, the way that the world is today, the state of the world. And speaking of that, the state of the world, this is why God told me Times New Roman, because that is the times that we are in. And when I first heard this, I thought to myself, well, this God, what does Times New Roman have to do with anything that sounds like that is a font in when you're typing or when you're writing a document? You have all these different options, and Times New Roman is one of them. And God said, no, that is the times that you live in. That is the spirit that is operating in the world right now. There's many spirits operating, but God chose to highlight this spirit to me, the Times New Roman, this Roman spirit that is in the times that we live in. So the Roman type spirit is a spirit that goes around and tries to conquer people. And we are seeing that right now, tries to conquer and colonize people. And we're seeing that now. They may call it something else, but what is going on in the world right now is a lot of conquering of other peoples. And even here in America, I'm not going to go too far into it, but even here in America, people always talking about the deep state, the shadow government, the swamp, all this different things. So it is it's this open secret that we all know that we have to question, do we really have democracy here? Okay, do we really have democracy, or is there somebody behind the scenes, or a certain couple of families that behind the scenes that are calling the shots? And if so, is that really democracy? Is that really democracy? Okay, so but if you speak about it too much, then I don't know. So I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. But there are some folks who are God is going to be downloading things to. So when you go in your prayer time, make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper with you. Anyway, at all times you need to do that. But make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper with you, because God is going to be downloading things to you for you to write for those that he loves. Now, in Ezekiel chapter 9, that's what it was about. He was writing, the man that Ezekiel saw, he was writing down. He was only concerned with the remnant. He was only concerned with the remnant, those that loved the Lord, those that were in mourning for the things that are going on in the earth right now. For the detestable acts, as the Bible calls it, for the things that 1,000% that it is against God, but yet even Christians are saying that, oh, this is okay and that's all right, and God wouldn't mind about that, whatever, blah blah blah, blatant stuff even in the church. And so God is saying to write, or he's going to be giving you information about those people, for those people that love him, those people that are his. He's going to be giving clear instructions, clear prophetic messages for those that love him. And of course, those people are marked, they're his. And because, messages for those who are lost are prevalent, messages for those people who are lost, who are, reprobate, for those who Yeah, I think that was it. But prophetic words for those who that are technically not his, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they might be one day. Those messages have gone out. But God is saying he is those messages, I'm sure that those messages will continue to go out. But God is saying that he's doing a new move where he's going to be speaking to his those that are his. He's going to be look forward to messages and directions on how to navigate the times that we're in. Those messages are going to be coming to those who love him, those who are in mourning for what is going on, and even messages that might have to do with they will be for you, for those that love the Lord, but messages that will show you how to navigate these times that we're in, and also how to continue to bring in the lost, if that makes sense. The messages that the Lord is going to be writing is going to be to his remnant, but also the messages will have to do with some of the message will have to do with how to help others that are lost, to save them from the destruction that is coming. And it's going to start at the church first. It's going to start at the church first. And I believe it's already started, because in Ezekiel chapter 9, that's where they started. They started in the sanctuary first. And it says, spare not the children, the old men, and everybody in between, because especially the kids at a certain age, they're at the age of I forget what they call it, the age of reason. So, all right, guys, I love you. Take care until we meet again.